good evening. Hello, 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 hello. How are you? And welcome to another installment of Atlanta's Up and Rising, where we take a lot of today's talent that are here in Atlanta and those who are migrating here from surrounding areas, and we're going to showcase and spotlight them for you. You get to be the judge of what's going on and give them the support, the lift, the embodiment they need, honey, to go way out into the stratosphere. Y'all know who I am, honey. I'm your host. I'm Demetrius Big Meats Taylor. And if you want to know anything about me, if you want to be dishing tea with Big Meats, honey, go to www.dishingtea.com. However, this here ain't about me, and y'all already know that, okay? So without any further ado, I want to present to some and introduce to others. This young man here, he is really, really, really a force to be reckoned with. He's sitting over here tickling me when I'm sitting up here with you right now. So he is a wonderful singer. He is an entrepreneur, honey. He's a film producer, director, and carrying on. And all in this wonderful, wonderful young little package, child. So, without any further ado, this is the one and the only Mr. Solomon Nelson. Hello there.
Hello, everybody. How you doing?
See, you want to go there. I'm not Wendy, but okay.
How you doing?
Okay. But, you know, in this wonderful, joyous spirit of everything, you know, being light, bubbly, airy, and carrying on, let's start with understanding why you like bubbly, airy, and all that. Who is Solomon Nelson, and what makes Solomon Nelson tick?
To be honest, Solomon Nelson, which is myself, flips hair. I'm really just a person. Like, I wake up in the morning and I have different interests. Like, one moment I might want to just sing. One moment might want to sit down and like write something. Next moment I might, oh Lord, okay, I might just want to like play video games, or I love going to class. I love talking to people and helping people. So I think that's really what I do. Like, the essence of me is really just helping and uplifting other people, whether it's through song, whether it's just through speaking to people, whether it's just through being bubbly and being comical and doing whatever pops into my head just to put a smile on somebody's face. That's what makes my day. That's what gives me joy. Mm-hmm. Making sure that somebody else knows that, you know, regardless of if they will get another day or if this is their last day, knowing that somebody cares and doesn't even have to know who they are.
Oh, really? Mm. So this sounds like this is some sort of ministry for you in a way, because you just said that like one old Baptist preacher.
Thank you.
You know. See, you trying to work me. You trying to work me. Okay. But it's cool. It's cool. It's cool. Come on. Now let's go here, because so like I said, with this feeling as though it's a ministry and everything for you. Someone, you know, in your particular age bracket, you know, folks are not necessarily understanding youth and the young folks having that sense of connection. So why is that important to you?
It's important to me. Honestly, I don't know. I really just wake up in the morning like I don't carry myself throughout the day thinking, oh, I need to do this and I need to do that. I'm really just led to do it. Like, whether it's just like going up and talking to someone and introducing myself, or just making somebody smile, or singing a song, because I hum and I hum and I sing and just write and do stuff all of the time, because it comes to me. Music is like my essence. I walk to a soundtrack in my head. There's music, it'll be Hannah Montana one moment, as in Hannah Montana, the hit Disney television series. Yes. Right. Or the next moment it'll be Beyonce, or the next moment it'll be Michael Jackson or Derek Coley or Yolanda Adams or whatever like that, because music is pretty much what fuels me to do things for other people. But really, like, I like how you were like comparing what it is that I do and what it is that's just naturally me to like that of a ministry. But I try my best to just stay humble in whatever it is that I do, because my thing is, I pray to God and I ask him, what would you have me to do? Whether it's like I see somebody on the street that might be soliciting for change, or might be hard on times, or might be lying, or whatever like that, I pray for guidance and I ask, you know, the Lord what it is that he wants me to do, what step I should take next, what I should do, how I should sing, what I should sing, who I should talk to, who I shouldn't talk to, and different things. Because honestly, at the end of the day, I'm just a person, and without him, I'm lost. I don't know what it is that I need to do. I don't know who it is I need to talk to, where it is I need to go. So I just try to make sure that he's the first and the main step, if nothing else in my life. Okay. So when it comes to talking to other people in ministry and like just singing and making you laugh and different things like that, I'm led to do it, because honestly, it's not like, okay, Jesus, should I make him laugh right now?
Ooh, if you don't cut it.
It's really just what he puts into my spirit and what he puts into my answers of what I need to do. So I'm just what do you call it? Like a servant. Like pretty much I just ask him to use me to do his work and do what it is that he wants and needs for me to do, and that's it. He is doing.
Okay. Now let me play devil's advocate right here.
Okay.
Because
awesome movie, by the way.
All of that was, you know, in the minds of some people that would be considered pretty talk and cute talk and lovely talk. But like you say, at the end of the day, I'm still a person. So what is it that when you have your shortcomings and your character flaws, and when you want to be a little hellish or a little devilish or a little impish or whatever, you know, what is it that sustains you in those particular moments when, you know, you just want to be a regular guy?
I face moments like that all of the time because of the fact that even though I want to go out and I want to be like a superstar, I want to sell albums and I want to sell out arenas and I want to do like TV shows and talk shows and do all of these wonderful opportunities and things that God has created and allowed to exist. But it's like at the end of the day, you know, aside from all of the work and all of the dreams and different things, I have to realize and continue to stay humbled that I am just one person. I am one person. I can't, excuse me, necessarily do everything. And I have a really big heart. Like, I love helping people. I will give my very last if it means helping somebody else out of their situation. And I'll be sitting right there and I ain't got a pot to piss in. I ain't got 2 pennies to my name, and I'll be like, Jesus, like, I don't know if he told me to do that, but I did it anyway. So, and it's just like, honestly, when I'm down and out and I'm feeling like, I wouldn't say hellish, but I'm feeling human. I just continue to pray.
I like that.
I continue to pray because really that's what holds me together at the end of the day. At the beginning of my day, from morning to sundown or whatever like that, it's really God that just holds me together. And I understand the whole thing about like talking pretty and different things and saying things for show, but I'm not a two-faced person. I'm not fake. I don't have a need to pretend. Leave that for the drama schools. Like, I'm just a real person. Like, if I want to sit up here and be bubbly, it's not because I'm trying to make you laugh. I'm trying to put on the front. That's just the way that I'm feeling. Trust me, if I wanted to knock you down, if I wanted to tear you down, I could do that. But see, it's a lot easier to just be nice and to just be polite and be respectful. But trust me, I have select people and I have select moments where I just want to be like, you know what, let me tell you something right quick. But it goes back to the thing that my mother taught me when I was young and growing up. I'm the youngest of 7. So my mom told me this old saying where it takes more muscles and more bones to frown than it does to smile. So I apply that principle to everything in my life because, you know, there are a lot of moments where it seems so easy and so simple to be bad, but you have to think about the consequences that come from that. Like, if I sit over here and I tear this person down and I make them feel bad because they tried to make me feel bad, that's not going to make me a better person. And when I'm out going trying to speak to people and inspire or just being myself, I have to think about that in the back of my head. There are some people that can be like, oh, well, I brought hell into their life. I don't really care. But me, I just have that defined conscience where it's just like, I could have that human side of me and I could just let it go and do what it is that I want to do. But then I'm going to have to pay for it at some point. That other person might not have to pay for it the same way that I will, but I know who sits high and who looks low and who's running my life and is telling me what to do. So I would rather get a spanking from like someone like my mom growing up versus to get one for the rest of my life from her. And that's pretty much.
Well, now there, see. Okay. So we have that particular foundation that lays out your character. So now, how does your character lay out into your music and into the other enterprises that you are? What is it that speaks to your artistry and your talents?
Honestly, and I keep coming back to this word being humble, phrase, since that's more than one word. But I continue to try to stay humble in whatever it is that I do because I understand that one moment my talent or my capabilities that God has allowed me could be here and the next moment they could be gone, which is the reason why I try to make sure that I appreciate them. But the way that my character interacts with the talents and capabilities that God has given me is pretty much everything that I do is a reflection of me. Like, there is a sitcom that I wrote. I wrote a couple of like the first pilot episodes or whatnot like that, and they're all very goofy. They're very loving because I grew up watching. 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 I gre to get back to my character, to further explain what I'm trying to talk about now, my character is fueled by a lot of different elements. It's fueled mostly by my foundation in God and my belief in Him and everything like that. People can worship Allah and Muhammad and Ali and everybody else they want to, but I have my personal preference, and it's Jesus Christ. I don't remember anybody else coming down and dying on the cross for me. But it's just like, that's my foundation. But then there's also growing up and having my mom and my brothers and my sisters and my friends and family and people that support me. And even my haters, the people that don't want to support me, people that want to stay against me, because if it weren't for their negative energy, I wouldn't have more energy to turn into a positive thing to encourage and inspire other people. But I also grew up watching shows like The Cosby Show. I grew up watching That's So Raven. I grew up watching Good Times, The Jeffersons, and different stuff like that. And I would remember, of course, I was watching reruns because I wasn't born like in the 70s.
No, darling.
But I'm a 90s kid.
Watch your mouth now.
Mo Isha. Honestly, my character is compiled of all the different things that I grew up watching and listening to. So when people listen to the music of today and different things, I strive to be different than every other person, because at the end of the day, which seems to be one of my favorite phrases, I am different from everybody else. Like, I'm not going to enter the industry trying to sound like Trey Songz, because I'm not Trey Songz, and Trey Songz is not Solomon L.A. Nelson. So, my character is pretty much, it's different on a day-to-day basis, but the main core of who I am and what it is that I try to be and what it is that I try to expose to the outside world is just being positive, being uplifting and encouraging. And I know that all sounds great and wonderful and whatever, get on somewhere with that, but that's really just me, because I feel like sometimes you have those people that are born that way, but they get, the energy gets sucked out of them, it gets taken, and I'm just one of those few people, out of these 7 billion people alive, that's really just trying to hold on to that, because if you lose all the positive energy, what's going to be left?
Now, you know what? Let me go here, because here's where this gets very, very interesting. Because in wanting to remain humble, and if you're going to use the H or not, okay, coming into this business, okay, now you've had a little taste of it, traveling with the kind of music that you've been doing, coming into writing sitcoms and wanting to go into the film aspect of it. Coming into this business we call show, okay, requires a lot of thick skin. It requires you to, to neck roll every now and again. It may require you to sit down there and grab a baseball bat, That's just the nature of the beast. So how is it that you're able to remain true to yourself without getting sucked into the machine of what this industry entails?
I've heard that reference a lot of times before, like the music business and entertainment period being somewhat of a machine. And we talk about it a lot in my classes, because I'm a student at the University of West Georgia. Go Wolves. But honestly, what keeps me separate and what keeps me from getting sucked in is really my family. It's my core of who I am. Like, I pray a lot before I do anything. I try my very best, because at the end of the day, there's my phrase again, I'm human. Like, there might be something like an opportunity that seems golden, and I want to chase after just to find out that it was a green pasture. No, it was a brown pasture with a green light on it, and different stuff like that. I've learned through heartache and pain and different things like that, and wanted to go after this, and wanted to sing, and wanted to do this, and wanted to do that, and it all falls apart. But it just continues to build me and make me stronger. So really, honestly, the core of what keeps me separate from everything else in this whole machine mechanism is the fact that I pray. Before any decision that has to be made, I make sure that I'm not the only person, I'm not the only entity that is a significant part of making that decision. If it's like something that's way last minute, I pray, and if I don't get my response, then there's your answer. And so it's just like, I know that I want to make music. Music is something that I want to do. Acting is something I want to do. I want to write and make sitcoms and make movies and all these other wonderful, wonderful things. But it's just like, if the timing is not right, then Solomon Nelson would not be there doing it at that time. So I've learned, and my mom's favorite thing to say to me is, wait until your time is called. Because, and I'm trying to make sure that I quote this right, like, God calls who he chooses, like his anointed, and everybody has a certain time to do something, to be something, to be someone, to go somewhere, to do this, that, and the other, XYZ, ... etc. And so one of the most challenging things that I've had within trying to get into this music industry and other things like that is, like, sometimes you might want to go after something, but it's not your time, because there's something better that is in store, but you have to be willing enough to be patient and wait, or you can jump for it and get shipped to the back of the line and start all the way from the beginning. And I'm not one of the people to wait. This ain't Six Flags. So I've just really learned to be patient. Like, because the only thing that will happen in me having to wait for God to tell me when it's time to move is I only get better. I write better songs. My voice grows. I'm able to write better and do different things, like with the sitcoms and all these other different things I've told you about previously. Like, the only thing that time is going to do is make me better. And I would rather be better than be at my worst in front of the planet.
Okay. I got that.
Did you? Did you get it?
I'm gonna slap this boy with a wet noodle. Okay, big old lasagna noodle, honey. Okay.
Ooh, lasagna doesn't have cheese.
Okay, of course. Okay. Anyway, see, stop. You gonna make me hungry.
How you know I'm not lactose intolerant?
I don't care. At this particular point, coming in, writing, and taking music and wanting to express yourself and to take your essence and put it to word, put it to pen, paper, and then to put it into music. What is that process for you?
It's a very long process, because I'm still that person. With me having such a bubbly personality, everything I want to write is like, oh, the birds and the trees, and oh, the grass is green, and la-da-da-da-da, Disney this and Disney that. But I also realized that with this being a business, not everybody wants to listen to Disney this and Disney that, and pop and this, that, and the other, and bubblegum this, and snap, pop, rock that. So it's just like, the process of me writing is I sit down, and what it is that I do is I make a list of the different things I want to talk about. Like, maybe in one thing, because the core of every song that I write is, or any type of music that I might do, it might be for another person. I try to make sure that at some point in the core, it's encouraging, it's uplifting, it's inspiring, because I've learned that you don't necessarily have to throw God into everything for it to be inspirational, because at some point people gonna get sick of hearing God. Right. So like, I might be like, okay, I want to write a song about love, and I did that back in 10th grade, back in 2010. I wrote a song about love, and what I did, let me explain. But what I did was, it's a song called Love, and I do it with, it's like L-O-V-E. And pretty much what it's talking about is like, because I was like, I'm in 10th grade, I'm like 15, 16 at the time, what the hell do I know about love, necessarily? And then I was like, you know what, a lot of the love songs that we hear on the radio, they're all about like, ooh, Nana, girl, you want this D, and everything like that, or she want this, or he want that panana, or whatever like that. And I'm just like, you know what, that's not the only type of love, and it's not the only type of love that I've ever been exposed to, that I've ever heard of. Because I grew up listening to like Aretha Franklin, I grew up listening to a lot of Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey, Cissy Houston, like we were talking about earlier, Daryl Coley, all these other wonderful people, especially Barry White. I have every single last one of his records.
What do you know about Barry?
I can't even imitate. This is as low as my voice gets.
That's
but
all right.
but pretty much, it was a song that I wrote, and it was talking about like having a love for your neighbor, having a love for people on the streets, a love for people that are in the courtroom, people that are in the hospital rooms, people that need love, but don't necessarily need the type of love that you hear about on the radio all the time. And so when I write, I sit down and I think about, okay, maybe I can sing about love, maybe I can sing about like going on a trip somewhere, maybe I can sing about God and what it is that He's done for my life and what it is that He's introduced me to and different things like that. But really, writing is just, I think of a theme of what it is that I feel is kind of lacking from the music industry or lacking from the radio stations, and I think about that and I let it sit there and dwell and marinate, and I pray and ask that God will place the words within my spirit that people need to hear, not that people necessarily want to hear or make a buck off of, but that people need to hear that's not there for them anymore. And so it might come in a day, it might come in a week, it might come in a month, it might come in 15 years, but I sit there and I let it, and then I go back and I have the same exact list which I started when I was 5, and I go back and I just check it off every now and again, like, okay, Hope, I wrote a song about that, or 55 songs about that. Okay, Love, I finally wrote a song about that. I think I kind of know what that is right now. A song about rock, a song about going out, a song about hanging out with your friends and everything like that. And I just go back to this list and I add to it, and when I've achieved that mark and I've written the song that I think people really need to hear and that they will want to hear and that they will want to buy, I go back and I check it off. But if it's not there, it does not get checked.
All right. Okay, so we have a system.
Because my thing is, when I do music, Mr. Demetrius, I want it to be something that's going to be around for a long time, and not just because ain't nobody bought it. I want it to be around. I want it to be around, and I want it to be something that's influential, and I want it to be something that's special to at least just one person.
Okay, then let me ask this, because this is your generation that seems to be very angry in the music. I say this constantly, that the music of the young folks seem to be angry and yet one-dimensional. What is it that Solomon Elliott Nelson,
yes,
S-E-N, Mr. Sin,
Sign. Sign, that's how we're going to say it, sign.
What is it that you are going to bring to the element?
I'm bringing me, baby. Like, what you talking about?
You know, what is it that to help direct or to be a voice of reason in amongst the mire, in the muck?
Back to when you're talking about like a lot of people in my generation are angry. I don't say this to offend anybody because I feel as though everyone that has gotten where they are, it's by chance or it's by, you know, they were talking to the right people or they worked hard. But I feel like at some point everyone has to work hard doing something in order to get to where they want to be in their career. But I feel like a lot of people in my generation are lazy.
Interesting.
And I don't say that with animosity in my heart or within my mind or anything within my being, but I say it in the sense that now it's easier, like, okay, I really want to sing this song, I want to rap, I want to do this, I want to do that, and I want it to mean something, but you know what? The record labels are not going to listen to that. People on the radio are not going to play that, so let me play into what they want to hear.
Right.
And at some point, release that song, but that song sits up there on the shelf and it never gets played because then you get caught up into the game. Of what the industry wants and what's going to make you rich. My thing is, at the end of the day, I'm studying sociology to go into social work, to work with like family and children's services, while at the same time trying to sing and do like this wonderful Beyonce level career and different stuff like that. But it's like at some point it's going to balance. But for right now, my thing is I'm using social work to like change people's lives and to talk to people and do stuff like that. So my thing is, if nobody wants to support my record or record labels don't want to buy this and do that because I'm trying to give it to them the way it needs to be heard, my thing is I will keep trying, or I'll just release it on YouTube, or just keep it to myself, or you know, just do whatever it is that I'm led to do at the time I'm led to do it. Because my thing is what I'm bringing to the table along with the rest of my generation, but what's going to make me stand out is I will not be a sellout, and I'm going to stand by that. Because my thing is, I was born to be somebody unique, so why would I want to cop out to be like everybody else?
I was born to be somebody unique, so why would I cop out to be like everybody else?
Hallelujah.
There's gold. That's gold. Well, you know what? We finna go let you do your thing, but before we do, let the folks know where they can find you, hear you, get involved with you, this, that, and the other. Where can they find you on your social medias?
I have these long ass titles for all of my social media, so get ready with a piece of like paper and some pens or something like that. So like the Facebook is facebook.com/Mr. Mr. Just Just Elliott Elliott 12. My Twitter is the exact same thing, just without the Facebook part. Instagram, JElliott417, and YouTube. I made this when I was in 7th grade, so please don't judge me. But I'm a big fan of anime, so it's youtube.com/Momorella. It's MOMORELLA, or you can just type my name in, Solomon Nelson. But I guarantee anything that you see, anything that you read, anything that you watch or listen to, you won't be disappointed. I guarantee it.
Well, alrighty then. And you know what? I'm finna let him prove that. Okay? I'm gonna say thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
And
thank you.
I'm gonna hit him. So, but without any further ado, I'm gonna let you enjoy the musical stylings. This is Mr. Solomon Nelson.
Deuces. How we doing?
Child, did my nose just start?
You got that fresh way of talking, it could be 4 in the morning. You're making me trip my heart, skim the beat. You know that this is amazing. Please tell me why you're hesitating. Let's risk it all, risk the fall tonight. Take the rope and climb. Close your eyes, love will take you high. We'll be sitting on top of the well, baby. You and I were born to rise, so just hold on tight. We'll be sitting on top of the world. Oh, 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 oh. I hear the wind in the trees and I'm weak in the knees when you're holding me close, got tingling toes tonight. You got me so elevated, you wanna time while you're waiting. Let's risk it all, risk the fall tonight. Take the rope and climb. Close your eyes, love will take you high. We'll be sitting on top of the world, baby. You and I were born to rise, so just hold on tight. We'll be sitting on top of the world. Oh, 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 oh. Take the rope and climb. Close your eyes. Love will take you high. We'll be sitting on top of the world, baby. You and I were born to rise, so just hold on tight. We'll be sitting on top of the world. Oh, 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 sitting on top, we will be, you and me, we will be sitting on top of the world.